Welcome back to my series of Batman reviews. Today we're talking about Batman Forever. Now, this is where you're probably not going to respect my opinion anymore when I say this, but I actually kind of love Batman Forever. And you're probably thinking to yourself, this guy's crazy. He didn't like Batman Returns more than Batman 1989, and now he's saying he loves Batman Forever. Yes, I know. And I recognize that there's a lot of stuff in this movie that would make a lot of Batman fans mad. But I'm able to ignore it and just have a great time with this movie because there are a lot of well-made aspects of this movie. So let's just get started. Alright, we need to get this one out of the way. The set design. The set design is gorgeous. It's so beautiful and colorful and vibrant and everything. Most people don't like Gotham like this, so colorful and everything, but I'm okay with a Batman movie having a colorful Gotham. Only bad things about this set design are some CGI building shots that have not aged well. Ignoring that, the rest of this movie is just an absolute eye candy. The actors are pretty strong. Val Kilmer, while he's not my first pick for a Batman actor, he does a pretty exceptional job in this movie. I don't really buy him in the first half of the movie, but when he starts getting more character-driven moments, I start to really like his performance. In the end, I think him and Michael Keaton are about on par. Michael Keaton might be a little bit higher, but I think Val Kilmer does a really good job as Batman. And this is going to be an unpopular opinion, but Chris O'Donnell also does a good job in this movie. He's just starting off as Robin, and while he does have some extremely childish and annoying moments in this movie, I'm willing to ignore that because the rest of his performance is pretty grounded. He's just lost his parents, and he probably doesn't want to stay at Wayne Manor, but Bruce Wayne convinces him to stay, and he ends up liking it there and becoming Robin. So I think that's a pretty good origin story for him, and Chris O'Donnell handles it really well. Nicole Kidman is okay. I think she's the worst actor in this movie. Not to say she's bad, but I just do not buy her character. Her relationship with Batman kind of comes out of nowhere, and I think it was the smart idea to make her fall in love with Bruce Wayne in the end. But I just never really bought her performance until the last 20 minutes, where ironically, she doesn't have much to do except be caught, but I felt the tension there, and Nicole Kidman did pretty good in those last 20 minutes. But here, we get to the best actors, Tommy Lee Jones and Jim Carrey. They are just so good in here. Let's start off with Tommy Lee Jones. Tommy Lee Jones is just super entertaining in this movie. Some people complain that he's too over the top and trying to imitate Jim Carrey, but I think when you see him and Jim Carrey interact, it doesn't seem that far off. I think Tommy Lee Jones is given a lot of good things to do with Two-Face, and some of his solo scenes are really entertaining. Jim Carrey in this movie he's my favorite actor in this movie. He's incredible. He is just so hilarious in this movie. I know people complain that he's over the top, but I think he's just awesome and hilarious in this movie. He's just got so many funny lines that it's hard to choose which one is my favorite of his. Honestly, him and Tommy Lee Jones work great on screen. Yes, I know that they didn't get along outside of this movie, but for some reason, when they interact, it's kind of like magic. It's just so cool. I have a couple of complaints about this movie. I don't like Batman and Chase's relationship, but I think the main problem with this movie is that it has quite a few awkward moments. There are just many moments that do not hold up to this day. For example, Batman giving a thumbs up in his car. There's also quite a few cliched moments. But in the end, I just have a great time with Batman Forever. And I don't care what people say about this movie and how much hate it gets, because I will always defend this movie as being a great, just fun film. And I wish other people could see it like I did. And in the end, I'm going to give Batman Forever an 8 out of 10. It's not quite as good as Batman 1989. Batman 1989 was definitely more well-made. But this movie's just still really, really good. And guys, thanks so much for watching. I have other channels in the description if you want to check them out, as well as Letterboxd. And yeah, that's about it. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
It's electric. I'm lost in your eyes all the time.